Hello, this is Paul Nadler again, and this is segment number 2 on a simple dessert. This was submitted by my niece Stephanie, and it's called Oreo whoopie pie. So your family will say whoopie when they get this pie. Zach's going to show you how easy it is to make.
Hi, I'm Zach Nadler, Chief Information Officer of Nadler Insurance. And today on What's Cooking with Nadler Insurance, we're covering desserts part 2. We're going to make my cousin Stephanie's gourmet Oreo cookies. They're like a whoopie pie. It's very rich, very chocolatey, and delicious to enjoy. First thing you want to do is get your KitchenAid mixer, and you're going to want to soften 3/4 of a cup of butter. So we're going to get that. That's a full stick and 1/4 of another stick. We're going to put that in the KitchenAid, and we're going to start to soften. While the butter's softening, you're going to add a box of Devil's Food chocolate cake mix, a little bit of flour, and 2 eggs. Careful not to add any shells. If you're not as comfortable with cracking the eggs, make sure you do those before. You're going to mix this till it all gets nice, because then you're going to want to dough that up into balls, and then you're going to put that on a cookie sheet. Meanwhile, you want to get the oven preheating to 350 degrees. Now that this has been mixing for a little while, for about 3 to 5 minutes till it's all nice and mixed, the butter's mixed in, I like to speed it up to make sure everything's clear. And then what we're going to do is just get the spatula, clean off that little bit on there. And then we're going to roll these into balls and put it on a greased cookie sheet and put in the oven at 350 for about 8 minutes. Disconnect this. Cookie sheet. Right on there. Just going to get a spoon to help with portion control. And we're going to start making cookie shapes. As you're making these balls, make sure that you do an even number of cookies, because for every cookie you need a top and a bottom. Now that we've got them all set up, we've got an even amount of cookies, we've got the oven heated to 350, we're going to go put these in for about 7 minutes. While the cookies are in for 7 minutes, we're going to go make the cream cheese frosting, but first I'm going to get the area all cleaned up. So now that this is all cleaned up, what we're going to do is we're going to make the cream cheese frosting. You've got your KitchenAid once again. You want a full block of cream cheese that's been softened to room temperature. You want to add that in. And just get that, start mixing. Then you're going to add a whole stick of softened butter. Then you're going to add a splash of vanilla extract. And then you're going to slowly add a whole box of powdered sugar. And this is how you make the cream cheese frosting that's going to go in the middle of the chocolate Devil's Food cake cookies. So while this is finishing up, our timer has buzzed, and now we're going to take out the cookies. Now that the cookies are cooling, the frosting is done. What we're going to do is we're going to get a big Ziploc freezer bag. and use this spatula and put all this frosting into the freezer bag, because we're going to use this as the icing. Once you get it all in there, you want to start working it down into one of the bottom corners, because you're going to cut a hole and use this as your piping, so that way you can get nice distribution to all of the pieces of cookie. Once you get it all worked in the corner, you want to cut a little slit with the scissors. Not too big of a slit, maybe like this size, a little bit smaller than a dime. So you've got a nice opening there. Now that they've been cooling for a little bit, and they've been cooling upside down, so that way we have the nice side exposed on the top and bottom of the cookie, you want to take a cookie, you want to take your bag of frosting, and you want to make sure the top's open to let the pressure out, and you're just going to pipe some of that delicious homemade frosting in the center, like so. Then you're going to get another cookie, and you're going to close it on top. It's going to look like that, a nice delicious sandwich. And you're going to do this for all of the cookies you made. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to invite my brother Josh over, because he's a big fan of Oreos, to come and see how these, our cousin Stephanie's whoopie pies stack up.
I'm excited. You smell fantastic.
Against these. So here, we'll just do these 4 for now. I've got much more to do, but let's put them to the test.
All right, enjoy.
Cheers. Got milk?
Almost.
We'll find out.
Wow, Stephanie, you really killed it with this recipe.
Creamy, rich, chocolatey, sweet, delicious, just melts in your mouth. Never eaten a regular Oreo again.
It's like the best part of a cookie and a cake and a whoopie pie all rolled into one. I can't recommend these enough.
And that's what's cooking with Nadler Insurance.
Please follow us on nadlerinsurance.com/cooking, as well as following us on Facebook and Twitter to get the recipe cards. And remember to insure your stash with Nadler Insurance. Thank you.
Is it really good?
Yeah, they don't pretty fucking good. You better with candy cane, kind of.